today's tutorial, we'll be making this crochet onesie or romper, as you would like to call it, and we'll be starting from the neckline through the body, and then I'll show you how to shape the bottom part. I'll also show you how to make the holes for the buttons and the sleeves. So let's get right into the tutorial. So for materials, I'll be using this Bernat Softee Baby cotton yarn. It's a lightweight 6% cotton and 40% acrylic yarn. I'll be using a 3.5 crochet millimeter hook. You need your yarn needle, pair of scissors, stitch markers, and your tape measure. So to start, you're going to chain 55 plus 2 for turning. So that's 57 chains. So I'm done with my 57 stitches. I'm going to skip the first 2 chains, yarn over, and make 1 double crochet into the 3rd stitch. And I like to go through the back bump. So you can go through the front if that's okay for you. So 1 double crochet into the 3rd stitch, and I'm going to mark my first stitch with the stitch marker. The turning chain 2 does not count as a stitch. We are going to make 1 double crochet into the next 6 stitches. So we now have 7 double crochets. Now on the 8th stitch, you are going to make 1 double crochet, chain 2, yarn over, and make another double crochet in the same stitch. This is going to serve as a corner. So that is how we work our corners. Now in the next 11 stitches, make 1 double crochet. So we have our 11 double crochets. And we're going to work another corner. So 1 double crochet in the next stitch, chain 2, and make another double crochet in the same stitch. Now work 1 double crochet in the next 15 stitches. So we are going to work another corner. So work 1 double crochet in the next stitch, chain 2, and work 1 double crochet into the same stitch. Now in the next 11 stitches, make 1 double crochet. We're going to work our last corner, so make 1 double crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, and make 1 double crochet into the same stitch. In the last 7 stitches, if you counted your stitches well, you should be left with 7 stitches, the 7 chains. Work 1 double crochet into the last 7 chains. So we've completed row 1, and this is how the neckline looks like. So for row 2, we are going to chain 2, turn your work, and you're going to make 1 double crochet in each stitch, and then when you get to your corners, you work your corner stitch. We are now at the corner. We are going to work our corner stitch. So make 1 double crochet into the chain 2 space, chain 2, and work another double crochet into the same space. Continue making 1 double crochet in each stitch till you get to the next corner. So we are now at the second corner. Work 1 double crochet inside the chain 2 space, chain 2, and work another double crochet into the chain 2 space. So continue doing this till you get to the end of the row. Work 1 double crochet in each stitch and then work your corner stitches when you get to the corners, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. And for the next 4 more rows, you are going to repeat row 2. So repeat row 2 till you get to row 6, and I'll meet you at the end of row 6. So this is how our yoke looks like at the end of row 6, and you should have a measurement of 3.5 inches, and that is the measurement for the length of the armhole. We are now going to join our armholes. So to start row 7, chain 2, turn your work, and make 1 double crochet into each stitch till we get to the corner. So at the corner, I am going to make 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space. Now chain 2, we are going to connect this to the second corner. So yarn over and make 2 double crochets into the second chain 2 space. And our first armhole is formed. Continue making 1 double crochet into each stitch till we get to the third corner. So continue working 1 double crochet. You can pause the video while you do this, and I'll meet you when you get to the third corner. So at the third corner, you're going to make 2 double crochets into the chain 2 space, chain 2, and connect it to the last corner to form our second armhole. So yarn over and make 2 double crochets into the last chain 2 space. Now make 1 double crochet into the rest of the stitches. So to start row 8, you are going to chain 2, turn your work,
and we are going to be working 1 double crochet in the first 4 stitches. A chain 2 does not count as a stitch. And now make 2 double crochets in the 5th stitch. One double crochet in the next 4 stitches. Two double crochet in the next stitch. We are going to repeat this pattern all along the row. And we're also going to crochet in the chain 2 spaces. So we'll continue 1 double crochet in the next 4 stitches. Two double crochets in the next. So continue doing this all along, and I'll meet you at the end of row 8. So I'm done with row 8, and we made these increases in order to increase the waist measurements because we want the outfit to be loose on our baby. I'm now going to join both ends of the yoke. So I'm going to slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet. And this is where our buttons are going to be fixed. So chain 1 and cut off your yarn. We do not want our seams to show on the front of the outfit. So we are going to start working from the back. So pull through. Now you are going to turn your work over like this. Make sure your armholes are aligned, and we are going to start working from the middle. So insert your hook in the middle, grab your yarn, pull through, and make a knot. Insert your hook, grab your yarn, chain 2 to start. Now chain 2 does not count as a stitch. We are going to be making 1 double crochet in each stitch all around. So we are going to call this round 1 of the body of the romper. So continue making 1 double crochet in each stitch all around, and I'll meet you at the end of round 1. I am now at the end of round 1, and I'm going to slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet. So you're going to repeat round 1 for 10 more rounds till we get to round 11. Always remember to start your round with a chain 2, and the chain 2 does not count as a stitch. So you're making 1 double crochet in each stitch all around for each round from round 2 to round 11.
So I'm done working on row 2 to 11, and from the neck to this part should measure 6 inches. And we are now going to work on the bottom part of the romper. So chain 1 and cut off your yarn, pull through and secure your tail. And we have a measurement of 21 inches for the waist. Like I mentioned, we want this to be a loose fitting romper, and so we are not making it exactly the waist measurement. So I have 78 stitches in total, and I'm going to make sure my front and back are well aligned. I'm going to mark the sides of the romper. I need to count to make sure that each side has 39 stitches. And we'll start working on the back side of the bottom part of the romper. So once you're sure that both front and back have the same number of stitches, you're going to insert your hook into the first stitch where we have our stitch marker. So grab your yarn, pull through and secure it with a knot. Insert your hook and chain 2. This chain 2 does not count as a stitch. Now we are going to work 1 double crochet decrease in the first 2 stitches. Work another double crochet decrease in the next 2 stitches. So we have 2 double crochet decreases. We are going to repeat it for the 3rd time. So work another double crochet decrease in the next 2 stitches. Now we are going to work 1 double crochet into each stitch till we get to the last 6 stitches. So at the last 6 stitches, and we are going to repeat what we did at the beginning on this side as well. So work 1 double crochet decrease in the next 2 stitches, another double crochet decrease in the next 2 stitches, and another one in the last 2 stitches. So this is how row 1 looks. We are beginning to shape our bottom part. To start row 2, chain 2 and turn your work. Remember, the chain 2 does not count as a stitch. Now you're going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch all along the row. So continue making 1 double crochet in each stitch and I'll meet you at the end of the row. So row 2 is done and we are now going to start with row 3. Chain 2 and turn your work. Chain 2 does not count as a stitch and we are going to repeat row 1 for row 3. So we are making 1 double crochet decrease in the first 2 stitches, another double crochet decrease in the next 2 stitches, and a third double crochet decrease in the next 2 stitches. Now we are going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch till we get to the last 6 stitches. So we are the last 6 stitches and we are going to work double crochet decreases. So to start row 4, we are going to chain 2 to start, turn your work, and for row 4 we'll be repeating row 2. So you are working 1 double crochet in each stitch all along the row. So continue making 1 double crochet in each stitch and I'll meet you at the end of row 4. At the end of row 4, and to start row 5, you are going to chain 2, turn your work, and we are going to repeat row 1. So make 1 double crochet decrease in the first 2 stitches, another double crochet decrease in the next 2 stitches, and the last 1 double crochet decrease in the next 2 stitches. And now we are going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch till we get to the last 6 stitches. Six stitches left. You are going to work your double crochet decreases into the last 6 stitches, just as we did at the beginning. You are going to chain 2, turn your work, and you're going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch till the end, repeating row 2. So continue working 1 double crochet and I'll meet you at the end of row 6. At the end of row 6, and we are going to now repeat row 6 for 3 more rows. Remember to always chain 2 at the beginning of the row. So from row 7 to row 9, you are going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch, and the chain 2 does not count as a stitch. So do this and I'll meet you at the end of row 9. Now at the end of row 9, so chain 1 and cut off your yarn. Pull through and make sure your knot is tightened. We are going to turn over our work and we are now going to work on the front part of our romper. So count 5 stitches from the edge and mark it with your stitch marker, and also count 5 stitches from the other side and mark it with your stitch marker. Now insert your hook, grab your yarn and secure it with a knot. Now we are going to repeat the same pattern we worked for the back flap. So chain 2 and work 1 double crochet decrease in the next 2 stitches. You have 3 loops, pull through all 3. And now work another 1 double crochet decrease in the next 2 stitches. And another double crochet decrease. Now work 1 double crochet in each stitch till you get the last 6 stitches. Now the last 6 stitches, and I'm going to work my double crochet decreases. So work the first one in the next 2 stitches, work the second one, and work the last double crochet decrease. To start row 2, you're going to chain 2 and turn your work. You're going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch all along the row. So continue doing that and I'll meet you at the end of row 2. To start row 3, chain 2, turn your work, and we are going to be repeating row 1. For row 4 to row 6, we are going to repeat row 2, going to chain 2, turn your work and work 1 double crochet in each stitch all along the row. So repeat this for row 4, 5 and 6, and I'll meet you at the end of row 6. So I've completed my final row, row 6, and the front part is shorter than the back because we want the back to overlap and close there. So chain 1 and turn your work. You're going to work 1 single crochet all along the entire edge of the bottom part. When you get to the corners, you're going to work 3 single crochets into that corner, and this is going to help you to turn your work and get the perfect corner. 1, 2 and 3, and then you turn and then continue to work 1 single crochet into each stitch all along the entire edge. Remember to work 3 single crochets in the corner stitches so that you can turn your work easily. So I've completed my single crochets and I'm now going to slip stitch to the first single crochet. So chain 2 and we are going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch all around, and the chain 2 does not count as a stitch. Remember to work 3 double crochets in the corners just as we did for the single crochets. This makes your corner turns smoother so that your work doesn't curl up. So continue doing this all around and I'll meet you at the end. So I'm going to show you how to work your corner. So make 3 double crochets in the corner to turn. So then you turn your work and continue working 1 double crochet in each stitch all around, and then you work your corners properly, and I'll meet you at the end. So I'm now at the end, and I'm going to slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet. Remember, the chain 2 does not count as a stitch. So this is how our edges are looking neatly done. Now we are going to chain 2. We are going to work a front post double crochet in the first stitch. Remember, the previous chain 2 does not count as a stitch. So work your front post double crochet, and yarn over, and now work a back post double crochet in the neck around the next stitch. So front post double crochet, back post double crochet. So this is going to be the pattern all around. So continue working your stitches, and I'll meet you at the end. So I'm at the end, and I'm going to slip stitch to the top of the first front post double crochet. So chain 1 and cut off your yarn. Make sure you cut it long enough. We are going to use the tail to sew on our buttons. Pull through, and we are done with the bottom part of the romper. We are going to sew on our buttons. I got these wooden buttons from Amazon. You can check the link in my description if you want to get one, or you can get them from any craft store. So we need 2 of them, and we are going to sew them to the front flap. So we are now going to work on the front closure. So insert your hook, make sure you're working on the right side. Grab your yarn, pull through and secure it with a knot. Insert your hook, chain 1. And we are working 1 single crochet all along the edges of the top part of the romper. And again, when you get to the corners, you're going to make 3 single crochets in the corner stitch in so that you can turn your work nicely without your work curling over. So continue making one single crochet all around the neck, and I'll meet you at the end. So I've gone all around and I'm at the end here where we started. I'm going to slip stitch to the first single crochet, chain 2, and we are going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch all along the side only. That is what's going to be the overlap for the buttons on the other side. The row, chain 1 and cut off your yarn. You're now going to sew on the buttons on the other side of the opening. We are now going to work on our sleeves, so turn your work over to the back. Insert your hook at the bottom stitch. Grab your yarn and secure it with a knot. Chain 2, and we are going to make 1 double crochet in each stitch all around. The chain 2 does not count as a stitch, so we start our double crochet from the same space we have the chain 2. So continue making 1 double crochet in each stitch, and I'll meet you at the end of round 1. Make sure you count your stitches at the end of the round, because we are going to do the same for the other sleeve. So you want to have the same number of stitches on each sleeve. So I'm at the end of the round and I'm going to slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet. Now I'm going to chain 2 and I'm going to repeat round 1, making 1 double crochet in this stitch all around. Always remember to start with a chain 2. But the chain 2 does not count as a stitch. So continue working 1 double crochet in each stitch for round 2, and I'll meet you at the end of round 2. So at the end of round 2, slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet. Now we are going to repeat round 2 for 3 more rounds. So from round 3 to round 5, we are going to repeat round 2. So I've completed round 3 to round 5, and we are now going to work on the edges of our sleeve. So chain 2. Always remember your chain 2 does not count as a stitch. We are going to work a front post double crochet around the first double crochet. Now work a back post double crochet in the next stitch, front post double crochet in the next, back post double crochet in the next stitch, front post double crochet in the next. So this is a repeat pattern for round 6. So at the end of the round, I'm going to slip stitch the top of the first front post double crochet, chain 1, and cut off your yarn. Make sure you cut your tail long enough to weave in your ends. So I'm now weaving in my ends, and I repeated the same process for the second arm, for the second sleeve. So make sure you count your stitches and you have the same number of stitches on both sleeves. So our romper is done now, and this is from 0 to 3 month size, and this is a beautiful gift for a baby shower or for newborn photos. You can watch the next tutorial to make a matching hat to fit this romper. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next tutorial.